Hello, my friends. It is exactly 8:05 p.m. on a Thursday evening, July 7th, 18th, 2024 in Ottawa, Ontario. Now, I just want to talk about the LCBO strike that is occurring and how is it affecting parts of Ottawa and how Quebec may be dealing and struggling with the issue as well. Um, I went to my local Loblaws around my area, and I spoke with the cashier there about the LCBO strike and how it's affecting everyone. Apparently, he told me that there was no beer at all yesterday in the store. At all. Nothing at all due to the strike. Now, people have got their carbon tax refund on the 15th of this week. So I guess all the people who are known to drink a lot and so forth have cleaned out the grocery store completely. And yeah, it's been affecting the grocery store. No beer at all in the grocery store yesterday, apparently, I was told him. But which is kind of, they're not prepared for the strike, obviously. And you have to think that the grocery store basically, I used to work in stocking overnights at Loblaws back in 2000. Oh God, early 2000s anyway. Overnight before COVID, of course, way before COVID. And the thing is, there was no alcohol back then as well. The thing is, they are more geared for general inventory for all the demand of everything in the store. Like the one downtown core, the Loblaws there, I'm sure they might be more prepared for the beer demand, their alcohol demand. But the one in my local neighborhood was not prepared, obviously. Um, People got the carbon tax on 15th, people got the tax money on the 10th. And those two times, they were totally really low stock in beer, particularly. So people started getting the wine there. And there wasn't too much wine. So the wine was okay, but the beer demand was just like totally non-existent there in the store there. So yeah, um, in Quebec though, I live in Ottawa, Ontario. The Quebec side generally has convenience stores and so forth, and a lot of grocery stores there in Quebec do carry the alcohol. I'm not sure how they are coping with their alcohol demands there. There's more variety there with the legal with alcohol being sold, beer being sold, and wine in convenience stores and grocery stores. So the Doug Ford government is trying to get that same situation here in Ottawa. I understand him. So yeah, in Quebec it might not be as bad for the demand, but it's slightly more expensive for the drinks there. In the convenience stores, of course, are always more expensive in most of their items as well. So that's nothing to think about. Huh? I'm not sure how long this LCBO strike's going to go on, but it is definitely affecting and making impact on grocery stores here in Ontario, anyway, at least. Loblaws is the only one that seems to sell the alcohol, and the Canadian Superstore, of course, which is a affiliate of Loblaws as well. Metro also has some alcohol sold in their grocery stores as well. I'm not sure how they're coping with the strike. If they're prepared to cope with the high demand of alcohol since LCBO closed. It depends on the management, of course, as well, how they deal with the stocking, the demand for the alcohol, which obviously overwhelmed Loblaws big time. So they were overwhelmed and they had no beer at all yesterday, apparently. That's how bad it was. But when I came today, it was restocked. Like instead, usually it's maybe about chest high of alcohol. But when I came in today, it was like double that. So it's been stacked up to the almost a foot above that of alcohol of beer now in stock. So they made the mistake of not being prepared, especially with the carbon tax. Like the carbon tax came in early on the week, and they should have been more prepared. But I guess they're a grocery store. They're not specializing in alcohol at the beer store. And the beer store apparently is doing coping much more better since specializing in beer. So they are generally never out of stock for their beers in that store. So they're more prepared than the grocery stores, and I'm not sure how the convenience stores are doing in Quebec. If people have no access to beer in Ottawa, they will go to Quebec. So I'm not sure how Quebec is doing with their demand for alcohol. And the thing is, people do have addictions to alcohol and they need it. Otherwise, they risk having a seizure, heart attack, or a stroke from DTs, detoxing. And people can die from that if they're detoxing and don't have access to alcohol. The thing is to cut down slow for these people. And these people have to manage it the best they can. So, anyways, I have to admit that my drinking has been going up the past week since I found out someone has died of an OD. So I have to cut down slow again, as my withdrawals are seem to be taking effect on me once again. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna have 5 beers. I've been drinking too much wine. Like I drank 4 liters of wine in a few days, and that's not good. It's strong alcohol. It was to help manage the stress of things and all that, and so forth. So now I've cut down all over again slowly, one step at a time to cut down slow all over again, which is doable. It's very doable and it can be done. That's the main thing that counts. So I'm not sure how everyone else is dealing with the LCBO strike and so forth. Grocery stores are definitely struggling in some areas. They're just not prepared for a big strike and massive demand for alcohol, which will also give them insight about how many people out there need alcohol. Um, Quebec is probably busy as crazy too, as well. I imagine. I'm going to go check it out tomorrow actually and ask around what's going on about that. Why not? Why not? I got my EcoPass. I got funds from my EcoPass, which I filled up again. $1.75 per ride. You can't go wrong there with EcoPass, which is cool. Press your card does amazing wonders. It's probably much more better in the long run for people in need and so forth. So yeah, I'm doing okay. I did not feel so well early on today due to the massive amounts of wine I have been drinking. 4 liters of wine in 3 days is not good. And also dealing with the fact that the neurologist wanted to speak with me regarding the seizures I had, obviously. So something is up there, and we're gonna find out about that. So yeah, just gotta figure out what's going on one step at a time. And I will talk about ODs again in another stream. I just want to touch base about the LCBO strike and the impacts on grocery stores in Ontario, which a few seem to be struggling with, it seems like. The one downtown must be well stocked. It have to be well stocked because there's tons of people who hang out there drinking, so they're more prepared than the store near my place, which they had no beer at all. And I'm not drinking wine tonight. I'm just going to cut down with a few beers, just to ease down slowly all over again, which would be a big expense for my budget, unfortunately. Um, some people don't get affected with withdrawal. Some people are more sensitive to it. And when it comes to seizures and alcohol, there are two kinds of seizures, by the way. There's alcoholic seizures when you drink too much and you have a seizure. And there's also withdrawal seizures where you can actually at risk of having a seizure, heart attack, or a stroke going to withdraw of drinking. You can get insomnia, you get the sweats, you get the shakes, of course. You can have a seizure. Heart attack and stroke are very much at risk when it comes to DTs and withdrawal from alcohol. And yeah, I'm proud to say that I have not been to the hospital with a seizure since I broke up with my ex, who basically drank from 5 a.m. and drank all day when he's not working. I think he has a job now. He hasn't been going downtown at the place where he usually goes out and drinks. So either he has a full-time job, which is good for him, or maybe he passed on. He was 60. He is 66, or I have no idea. But yeah, I just don't like the fact that he was involved with a known prostitute down the hall, and he knows that. But he's putting himself at risk if he does associate with her. He's got to be careful because she's very dangerous, predatory kind of person who seems to target people and seduce them into drugs and so forth, unfortunately, and does not really promote any healthy lifestyles or promote the use of drugs, which is really, really, really sad and really, really, really sick. It makes me sick to my stomach thinking about her. Pretending to be good when she's not a good person at all. I mean, come on. Good evening, Alan. I'm Zach. Good to see you this evening. And I'm just talking about how the LCBO strike here in Ontario is affecting the area, the grocery stores, and so forth. And because I live close to Quebec, just wondering how Quebec is being affected. Their sales are going up for alcohol. Maybe they're better prepared. Who knows? I don't know. But there's a lot of them in Quebec that sells alcohol for the people who need it, and so forth. So yeah, it's very it's very true fact that alcohol can be addictive. You can get a physical dependence on alcohol. You get it definitely 100% for sure. And if you don't have it, when you get cut off suddenly, you can actually die. You can get seizures, you can get a heart attack or a stroke or whatever. Cutting down slow is the key. Slowly. You can't just go cold turkey. That's the thing. Depending how much you drink and what you drink, of course. I was cycling every day before until my brakes messed up on me and my gear snapped and I hurt my lower back. So I have to get that fixed, obviously. And we have to learn how to manage trauma and stress and so forth as well. We need a good support system, and which is unfortunately not very not accessible as much as it was before COVID. During COVID, there was a lot of helplines, telehealth, and I talked to some other lines too. But we have no phone, which unfortunately in this building, a lot of people do not have phones. I do not know how many times I have seen people in the elevator making a phone call, including myself, using the elevator phone to get access to emergency services or security even. And sometimes this phone does not work properly. You can't hear them. They can't hear you. It has to be fixed. So it's good to have that emergency phone, but it will be a good investment to have a payphone installed in the building as well. Considering that a lot of people in the building do not have access to phones, especially those on the social assistance, funds have been cut down big time. So yeah, it's very, very, very tough, and it's even worse than ever for budget-wise situations to get a phone even. I keep buying my phone once a month at least, and then paying extra money to get it back. It's kind of like slavery to money market cash money, which I do not do anymore, thank God. And cash and checks, of course, for those other people, they have a big fee to pay as well, which makes it more tough on the budget for these people's needs. Even people on disability struggle. It's not enough. Due to the medical needs and everything they need, it's not enough. Everything's going down for us. Recycling cans is going down. Before, there were a lot of cans that were recyclable in Quebec for 20 cents a can, but now since January, they stopped that. Now everything's 10 cents, so it's more of a struggle even then. So, yeah, the poor are getting poorer, and we're all suffering. People of homes are struggling with hydro bills and so forth. And the thing is that there are too many new people coming in, and money's being given to them. They're getting cars, houses, all the money's going to invested into them. And then the rest of us who are indigenous or been living here before that are struggling. So you got to do the math and so forth. And the LCBO strike is affecting a lot of people right now. Grocery stores, some of them are not really well prepared. Others are. Quebec must be super, super busy making a big load of money. They must be doing the happy dance probably because they're getting extra sales in those departments, which is good for them. So yeah, um, after those 4 liters of beer I had in 3 days, I have to cut down slow. I'm drinking a beer. I had four so far, my fifth one, and I have a few extra leeway in case I can't sleep at night. And I'll take another one maybe, cut down slow, and take it from there, one step at a time. So yeah, I guess the grocery stores did not really prepare for the tax refund in July. Some of them, and were understocked with the drinks they needed, especially the beer, which is totally gone from the Loblaws yesterday apparently. So yeah, um, this strike is affecting everybody, and Quebec is doing the happy dance right now, probably since we're so close to Quebec. Ottawa and Quebec are very close together, so yeah, Quebec's doing the happy dance. They're getting all the sales and everything, but hopefully they're prepared too for the demand, high demand. And yeah, some may be prepared, some might not be prepared. But anyways, that's about it. I'm just talking about the LCBO strike and how it's affecting people. How this month happens to be tax month, tax refund month, and a lot of them buy extra more than normal, and how some people are just not prepared for that. We're not prepared for that. So, anyways, that's about it. I'm gonna have a few beers, and I'm not gonna talk about ODs tonight or anything else right now. We're just talking about the LCBO strike and how what I've seen has happened. So take care, stay safe, and yeah, talk to you guys soon. Have a great night, everybody. And tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, I might play video games. I might not play video games. I'm thinking about it, but maybe I need to play some video games and get some frustrations building up within me. So make it. Take care, stay safe, watch your back, and talk to you guys soon.